Welcome back to the Electrician's Tool Channel. Today I just want to show y'all some tools that I put together for when I'm doing an electrical installation from start to finish. Talking about installing a service panel all the way to wiring the entire house, all the way down to the switches, the receptacles, the light switches, and things like that. So I want to tell you some of the required tools that I use while doing that. Some of the tools up here are required by the NEC that you use to do an installation, electrical installation. But these are some of the tools that I use right here while doing these are some of my go-to tools. Not everything that I use, but some of the my test instruments that I use while doing an electrical installation. There are other things involved in doing electrical installation, but I don't have that up there. Use strippers and all that those stuff, hammers, we ain't talking about that. I'm just talking about what you see here, the electrical part. And I'll just call it off and just tell you what each thing, what I use it for, and what's required also. Okay, right here is an ideal branch circuit analyzer. Hold on, let me get my glasses. Right here is an ideal branch circuit analyzer, number 61-165. After the installation has been installed, all the receptacles and the power has been put on and everything turned on. You want to go around to all your outlets and you see if everything. You plug this in here. You plug it in here, and you want to make sure that everything is wired correctly. If it's see if you have a voltage drop and things like that. This will tell you that this is a circuit analyzer. It will check that circuit to see if anything is wrong with it. If everything is all right, everything's up to code. Okay, that's what that's for. I did a review on this thing already, so you can check the video. When I check this also, is when I'm checking my. Lately, I've been doing a whole lot of those receptacles with the USB port that's added inside of the receptacle. I use this to check it to see if there's 5 volts coming out of here, 0.5 volts, 1 amp, things like that come out of here. See if that, because sometimes you put those receptacles in, the voltage part, the 120 volts may work, but the other USB ports on the side, one of them could be damaged, one of them may not be, something can be wrong. So you want to check this. This is a circuit analyzer as well, and it's put out by Fluke. And so I use this also in my installations. Well, we know about the clamp meter for my voltage, my balancing my loads, and make sure everything is okay. And then when I plug something in the socket, I just make sure that it's not overamping. I have the right size breaker on that circuit or whatever appliance they may be using. That it's the right size. The breaker is the right size. Okay, and sometimes you can, even though you installing new devices that's coming out of the package, like receptacles or what have you, or receptacles, one of them may be bad. They could be bad. So I pull out this right here. This is a receptacle tension tester, and this is in the code book also, a receptacle tension tester. This is by a company called Woodhead, and the part number here is 3808874, and I'll give you the guys right here, if you can see that. But this is a tension tester. You want to make sure that this thing that the blade, the receptacle have enough tension, because if it fall out, if it's not gripping the blades right, it can cause a fire. You know that. So you want to make sure that even a ground plug, you want to make sure that that's right. So that's what I use that for. Now this, when I'm installing my panels, sometimes I use I have 2 Greenlee levels. Right now they have any room up here to put them up here, but I have 2 Greenlee levels, and I put one on top of my panel when I'm installing my service panel, and I put one on the side, and I can, line it up just right. But lately I've been using this thing right here. This is by Fluke. Hold on a second. This is an angle finder, for instance. Exactly. Let me show you. if I want to do a 45-degree angle, 45 degrees would be up like right there. That's a 45-degree angle. Let's try 90. Anyway, that a little bit more, that'd be a 90. But that's how it'd be. That's a 90. But this, and it has a magnet on the bottom of it. This helps me out a lot. You know, it's quick. Yeah, I mean, the torpedo levels are quick also. I have 2 Greenlee. They're quick also, but you know, I use this too. So this, if I have to go out and change the receptacle, it may be hot, you know, it may be live. So I use this for that. I plug it in the receptacle, pull it out of the wall, maybe, you know, just to check my wiring right quickly or something. And if I'm going around and checking my receptacles, and I'm not getting 120 volts coming through here, well, I'll get my screwdriver, unscrew it, and pull it out with this. And while I'm looking at it, while it may be hot or live, and I'm seeing if the wiring is okay or anything. And if the receptacle is bad, this have 2 lights on the side right here, and it will light up. And you know, so this stopped me from holding a receptacle like this while it's live. I can hold this and be protected, and do what I want to do to it, tighten the wires up or whatever have, or just inspect the receptacle. Now this thing right here, this is a ground clamp resistance tester right here. It's the big kahuna right here. Where after you want to make sure your panel is grounded. The whole system is grounded. You want to, when you go out and test that ground rod, you want to make sure it's below 26 ohms. That's code in the NEC. You want to make sure it's below 26 ohms. And this you want to this what this for. I hardly see anybody talk about these kind of things on YouTube. I be seeing a lot of I mean, not putting nobody down. I don't do that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I haven't seen anybody talk about it, about grounding. They just talk about doing the panels and this and that. And I hardly ever talk about anybody. I hardly ever hear anybody talk about the ground resistance, and that's very important, because if your system is not grounded properly, you know, bad things can happen. So I go out and test my ground rod with this to make sure it's 26 and below for its resistance, and if not, I drive another ground rod to bring their resistance down. Oftentimes I like to put my ground rod where water often puddles up at, and I'll put it right there. But anyway, this is what this is for, and this thing costs a pretty penny. Now also, these things right there, this is right here, these are my 2 Torx screwdrivers. Now before the power get hooked up, I'll use this one, and both of them I have my certificate of calibration for both of them. This is this one right here. My certificate, well, no. This is for the Draper, right here. Draper Expert Ergo Plus, 1000 volt, that's insulated. And this is my certificate. Well, it's a copy of my certificate. I keep the original in my files at home. This is my certificate, because you need that when you're tightening up your lugs and what have you. The inspector, depends on when you get your work inspected. You know, they want to know if you had a Torx screwdriver, and if you had one, he want to know if it's been calibrated or not. So this is my insulated one right here, and this is really nice. Very nice, insulated, 1000 volts, and I have all the rest of the little bits that go with it right here. Now, this one, if the power isn't hooked up, this is the one I use for my lugs, my breakers when I'm tightening up. This is a Capri Torx screwdriver, and this is the one I use right here. And this have all the bits, all my bits that I need, square bits, my Torx bit, and Phillip flathead. This is all I need. And I also have a certificate of calibration for this one here also. I made a copy and I put it back in this plastic, but this is a certificate of calibration, and you need these things right here because they're gonna want to see it when you're doing your electrical installation. When the inspector come around, you want to be right because you don't want he'll make you take all that stuff down, and he may be a jerk, make you take all that stuff loose just because he can, and make you go get a screwdriver, and he'll stand there and watch you do it. But once they know your work and they know that you abide by the laws and the rules, oftentimes, when they do, after they've dealt with you a while, they'll come by and see your work, and that's that. They'll sign off on it, and that's that. So, with that being said, I'm gonna just throw this in here also. This is if there was some kind of short within the wire and you wanted to find it, instead of pulling one new wire, this is where I bring this in at. This is a Fluke Network TS100, and it's by Fluke Networks. It'll tell me, I'll hook it up to the wire, and I use my toning probe. If I'm trying to find a break, or I'm trying to find whatever, my tone that goes to my toning probe. If I'm trying to locate a breaker, this will tell me where the breaker is at. Also, if I'm not using my toning probe, and I'll connect these two clips, and the term that they call these a bed of nails. I hook these to the wires, I turn it on, and I press the button, and it'll keep beeping, and it'll tell me just how far the short circuit is in the wire. Man, this is bad, man. I'm telling you, this is top of the line stuff. And I like pulling this kind of stuff out when I go on a job, and I be seeing other guys there sometimes, and they be looking amazed, man. This thing is awesome. But I'm just leave it out here. This is most of the things that I use when I'm doing a new installation, electrical installation. So, well, that's about it, man. I want to tell you thank you once again for letting me take up the time. You guys know what to do for your new viewers. Hit that subscribe button if you like the channel. For the guys who've been with me a while, I appreciate you allowing me to take some of your time up again. I hope you enjoyed the video. And with that being said, I want to thank you guys and take care and peace out.